Hello, everybody. If you are here on LinkedIn with us, this is Gail Perry, and I'm so pleased to connect with you on a busy, busy day in December. I hope you are doing well. And I'm just going to open just slowly here, just as people log in, because there are a lot of people who just see that I'm live and they'll pop up and join us. So, we all survived Thanksgiving, and now we're in the middle of the biggest fundraising push of the year, which is year-end fundraising here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, all over the country and all over the world. And the reason year-end fundraising is such a powerful time of year. By the way, some studies show that many organizations receive as much as 30% of their revenue at this time of year, and also online revenue spikes because people, of course, are giving online more these days. So these last 3 weeks of December are your chance to take your fundraising totals over goal. And let's have the biggest bang for your buck you can ever achieve in December. So today we're talking about 5 strategies, the smartest strategies that you beleaguered and challenged and very, very busy nonprofit leader. What can you do now in order to meet your year-end goal and to go over goal? So, number one, you know that I'm a major gift fundraiser. I focus on the big money. I love everybody, the everyday donors, and I know how to love them as well. But if you're trying to make your goal, this is the time when you focus on your largest donors. And so in December, what can you do to remind your largest donors that you're around? They are besieged with with solicitations, and their inboxes are full, and they're running to parties, and they're buying presents for their own community and families, and planning holiday parties. So given that your largest donors are super busy, they're often not very available. So my question to you is, what can you do for your largest donors that will make them go, oh, I like this group so much? So it's not so much a solicitation as it is a reminder that you care so much about them. And so I have a couple of ideas to share. One of the things you want to do is consider what kind of Christmas gift or holiday gift you could provide or offer to your largest donors. Now, this can be a challenge because the donors don't want bling and they don't want stuff, especially from the nonprofit that they're sending their contributions to. So, bling and stuff are out for major donor gifts for the holidays. However, something thoughtful, something like if you know your donors, you can bring brownies or cookies. Or frankly, I like to give little tiny small poinsettias that cost like $5 or $6 to my friends, because you can always stick a little red poinsettia somewhere and add Christmas or holiday spirit to your home or your office. So something very small that feels like a token of appreciation, it would be very, very appropriate to your largest donors. And I would include your government funders, who are probably not thanked or stewarded or acknowledged, but they are hugely important. And we'll be talking about challenges with government funders early in 2025. But also your foundation and corporate sponsor supporters. Don't forget any funding source that is showering you with their attention and their investments. So another idea for recognizing and acknowledging and renewing major donors during September is a strategy that my friends in North Carolina at the Baptist Home for Children are following. They send Christmas, this is a Baptist church, so they're celebrating Christmas. They're sending Christmas gifts to all of their donors all over the state. This is a foster home agency that does wonderful work. But what they're doing, the kids themselves, the foster kids themselves are making little thank you cards. And you talk about something that will make your major donors go, "Aw," and remind them how much you appreciate their support. So what the Baptist Home for Children does, they take their entire staff and board and volunteers. And I don't know how large this list of donors is. Boy, this thing is bothering me as it dangles. But and so they make these personal visits, and the donors say, "Oh, you don't need to. You first of all, you call your donor and say, may we drop by a holiday gift?" And the donor's going to say, "Oh, you don't need to do anything for me." That's what your donor's going to say. Don't need to come by. We're fine. Keep your gifts. But you can say back, well, we've got something that the kids made you, or the patients made you, or the staff made you, or we've got something that we cooked for you. Something like that. Of course, cooking is laborious and time intensive this time of year, but something small that reflects your mission shows up at your donor's doorstep. And so apparently Baptist Hope from Children raises all this money at year end from these visits because the donors are reminded how much it means to the donor to be able to help these foster kids who need help. Um, so consider that. It's not too late. What is it, December the 10th, I think, 9th right now? You've got time to at least create a very short list of major donors and funders that could use this kind of recognition. So those are a couple of my top strategies for December to take you over goal. Another strategy that everybody from A to Z, large donors to small donors, you need to be looking at the people who have not yet renewed their gift. Okay, so these are donors who are about to be lapsed donors, and we do not want these donors to lapse. We want to renew them right now. Consider your loyal donors. They've been giving you 10 years longer. They love you. They respond to your appeals, and yet they're showing up as lapsed. You would be surprised to find out that your donor doesn't know whether they've given to you or not. So your donor is going, well, gosh, they're letting me know that I'm about to lapse. Of course, I want to remain a supporter. So remember that a gentle reminder, or maybe a few gentle reminders, if they're cheerful and kind and maybe a little bit humorous, if you send these to your lapse donors or about to lapse donors of all levels, you will get a response. But remember, be careful about appealing, making it too corporate, making it too assembly line feeling, and frankly, don't send something that's over designed to your about to lapse donors. They don't want to feel like they're one of many. They want to feel like they're one. Even if you can, take your whole staff and everybody personally emails 20 people with a personal note saying, gosh, we appreciate so much your investment. Your gifts have helped create all this good, wonderful good in the world. We hope that you'll want to remain a supporter this year. So that's my third top tip for December. Now, my fourth tip for December is something I've been talking a lot about in the past month or two this year, because the U.S. stock market is very high, and it keeps going higher and higher and higher, which means that any donor who does have a retirement fund or is putting money into a stock portfolio that's grown over time, they have stock that is highly appreciated. They may have purchased a stock for $10 a share, and now the stock is worth $100 a share. So they can give you the stock, make a gift to your organization of their stock, and they get a charitable deduction, not for the original $10 a share that they spent, but for the $100 a share value of the current price of the stock if it's sold on the market. So stock gifts are wonderful tax advantaged gifts for donors. And also, they can really help you get sizable gifts, because usually stock gifts are in the several thousands, if not larger. And if you've got major donors who are about to lapse, forthwith move quickly, because stock transfers do require a couple of steps. They have to call their stockbroker. Stockbroker has to get the correct name and the fund of where to transfer the stock. And so you're dealing with several other entities that are also very busy this time of year. So you want to make sure that you can have enough time to remind your donors that, gosh, they're about to lapse, and we don't want that to happen. And so one of the other, let's see, one more. I've got my list um, of my top strategies, and my top strategies are pay most attention to the top donors, focus on renewing as many gifts as possible. That means lapsed donor focus. Drop by with a special token of appreciation. Send holiday cards and gifts that make donors go, "Aw." And the third one, the final one, is to remind donors of gifts of stock. And so I'm going to give you a bonus tip before I close out. And I've mentioned this a couple of times already. And the phrase that I want to drill into your head in is, we hope you will want to remain a supporter. Consider that phrase versus we hope that you will contribute again this year. So remain a supporter speaks to the concept of donor identity, who I am as a person. I see myself as a supporter of this museum. I see myself as a supporter of women's rights or the North Carolina environment or whatever. I see this part of my personal identity. If they want me to make a contribution or a gift, that feels more transactional. So there's a lot of studying about the concept of donor identity, and it's a deeper, more emotional, more holistic ask of your donors to remind them about their identity, remain a supporter, be a supporter, become a supporter versus make a gift. So let me see, are there any questions? I have my social media team here checking to see if there are any questions. I don't see anything in the chat box. So I'm hoping that you have a wonderful December. I'm hoping that you make your goal and go over it. I hope that you make your donors feel so loved and so appreciated that they will stick with you going forward and renew their gifts bigger and bigger. And also, I hope that you will take care of yourself in the month of December. Take time for, I personally have a meditation practice, and I spent extra time this morning to be sure that I would be in good spirits and have the holiday joy that I can share with you on LinkedIn and with all of our staff team here at Gail Perry Group. One more reminder, we have launched the marketing registration for our annual Major Gifts Intensive. And we have organizations in this program. It's a 4-month coaching and training program with live webinars and live personal calls. Organizations are closing 6- and 7-figure gifts in this program because we're teaching them our proprietary collaborative ask model that we have been talking about for the past several years at Gail Perry Group. We have a particular approach to asking that is new. We think that we are finding that the fundraising industry is hungry for this kind of approach because it fits in with a more holistic donor model. And we look forward to your checking out Major Gifts Intensive and seeing if it's right for you and your team. Okay, we do have a question. Oh, good. I have a question. Should we ask between Christmas and New Year's? You absolutely should ask between Christmas and New Year's. In fact, New Year's Day, you need to have at least one email in your donor's box because many people, and I'm including myself in that group, I would always wait. I would save a little bit to the very ear and say, oh my gosh, I really want to support the horses. I want to support the frogs. I want to support the foster kids. And that reminder is absolutely key. So it's the way you ask that I'm encouraging you to be sensitive about. Remember, a cheerful note of love to your donor in their inbox is enough to remind them to give. You do not have to be so transactional about your asking. So let me try these strategies and let me know how they work for you. And may I wish you the most warmest holiday greetings, peace, joy, love, compassion, and happiness for everyone, including you and your team and your organization.